What is up? Welcome to the Ted Jones World Podcast. I'm your host, Ted Jones, alongside
Peter Moran.
What's up, dog? How you doing? A summery day outside.
Yeah, that is true. It's a beautiful,
it's
gorgeous mid-May day.
You got your sunglasses on your shirt. You're just ready to go to a picnic in Central Park.
You never know when a picnic might break out.
Yeah, true. Peter, I ordered a bagel this morning from a bagel place. I recommend to everybody, do not order bagels on a Saturday or Sunday morning. It will come later than you would have ever imagined.
But that's the only time to order them.
Yeah, you're right. So, like, even if a bagel place, you think it might take 30, 45 minutes at the latest, the lines at almost every single bagel place in Manhattan, even just walking on the streets, you can see how crazy they are on the weekends.
Can I give a recommendation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Black seed bagel.
I mean, they turn it in and out like that quickly. You can go in and order a bagel, and it's quick.
It obviously, like, I'm in a different location than you, so I can't speak fully, but you know, quick turnaround, great sesame bagel, toasted, toss some cream cheese on, an egg and cheese and bacon and avocado.
Oh,
I mean,
man,
it's hard to handle.
Quite the spread.
You're getting your hands dirty on that boy for sure.
But I mean, it sounds good. And also, pre-vegano is definitely eating cream cheese with the bacon and avocado on it. Or maybe not bacon and cream cheese on the same sandwich. Yeah, you do that?
Oh,
that's
buddy, give me the works.
Peter, I am hungover, as we all know. I don't drink so much, but I want to know how you guys all do it. I was probably I was like 9 drinks deep last night. I had 2 of those Stellas that we had when Travis Eskridge was over here. So 11.2 ounces in those cans.
Okay, so you're skimping a little bit.
Yeah, so in the regular Corona bottles or whatever, bottles in general, they're 12 ounces, right? So I had 2...
Two of those mini boys.
Yeah, 2 mini Stellas here, and then I went to my friend who's becoming a penis doctor's party and had like at least 7 White Claws, a few shots of tequila. Came home last night, threw up a little bit, and felt terrible. But I will say, bro, right after I threw up, I was spinning, and then woke up like 4 or 5 hours later, super dehydrated, started to feel a little bit better.
Got to get the poison out of your system.
Yeah, it's crazy how much like just getting those extra maybe 3 or 4 drinks like at the end of the night out of you really helps. I can only imagine how bad I would feel if I didn't throw up.
Oh, man. I mean, probably like you'd need to throw up now.
Did you drink last night or what? Or this weekend?
Yeah, I went out Friday. I had some drinks. Nothing to... I'll talk about my Friday in a second, but please. I had a really weird experience last night. Why? I just can't put... At 3:40 a.m., I didn't stay up crazy late. I was in bed. I was asleep. That sounds
pretty late. Okay.
I was asleep at this point. 3:40 a.m., my door is buzzing like crazy. It's just going off. Finally, my roommate's not getting it. I don't have any texts. I don't have any missed calls, whatever. I don't want to miss something. I open the door. I'm like scared, to be honest, because I'm like
let's get scared too, for real.
It's like middle of the night. I'm like so out of it, so not cognizant. So I open the door a crack just in case, because like who knows, dude? Who knows? I'm first floor, like you never know.
This was the lobby door that was ringing.
No. There's no lobby. It's just walk up, and I'm the first door. I'm like very close to the street. So anyway, someone rolls up, pizza delivery, and like they're mumbling, and I'm like so out of it. Like, what? Pizza? Peter? Yeah, this is Peter. And I'm sounding like super pissed off because I'm like, what the hell? Is it 3:40 a.m.? I didn't even know pizza places were open this late. I'm getting pizza, but it's for Peter. It's the right apartment. It's the right address. Yeah, here you go. So I take a full large, like I didn't even open it, probably pepperoni pizza, drop it on my coffee table, go back to sleep. 20 minutes later, door is buzzing off the hook again, like crazy. Then I hear someone on the phone calling. I'm at the place. It's 34. I don't even want to. I'm at the place. I can't even. No one's answering. This is the place. I'm definitely at the right place. No one's answering. What's going on? I don't know if they're calling the person that ordered the pizza to my house.
This is the second pizza for you?
Second pizza, 20 minutes later. I don't know who's messing with them, just trying to send me middle of the night pizza. Also, like is that your prank that you're actually delivering pizzas? It's
pretty funny
to me. Like you're spending money, so I got a fresh pizza on my living room. I didn't even take pizzas. I didn't take the second. I'm not getting out of bed. I the prank had to end. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know who it was.
And you still don't know who delivered a pizza to your apartment last night at 3:40 a.m.
Definitely not my roommate.
What? So you have
how many people know where I live, even to that extent? Like they know the address, they know the unit, they know the name of.
The only person I can imagine was, who we had on the podcast, Katie Morrissey. What episode was that? She could have potentially.
I know more people than.
She'll be like, oh yeah. Well, but like, regardless, who would have done that?
She's awake at that point.
You still don't even know.
I
maybe
definitely
she called ahead.
No. She's not sending. She's not sending me middle of the night. Like, I don't know. There was a. I really don't know. There was like a friend of mine that like tried to hit me up to come out earlier, that like possibly could have been that person. Maybe would have remembered where I lived because they'd been over one time. Like hours earlier, like, yeah, I'm out tonight. You know, like I can't come out tonight. Whatever.
So you still several hours earlier. The mysterious pizza.
So
you still don't know.
No idea. And it was like 4 hours after my last contact with him. Like it would just be a really weird move. He's like, well, Peter doesn't want to come out. Pizza in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Like it's 3:40.
And it was 2 pizzas too. It wasn't just one pizza.
Staggered by like 25 minutes. It was so weird,
really
dude.
Odd. This is really odd. And the fact that it was paid for makes it like double odd.
That's
it's not like
thing.
They sent it to your apartment and then like now you have
to
be jammed up and pay
Uber
$25.
Because that was the old prank. The old prank was I have 17 pizzas for Peter.
$250, right?
Right. But this was paid for. So the only if you're messing with me, the only inconvenience is that you wake me up, which is like annoying. But like, is it worth waking me up for spending $35 on it? It was a large pizza from Joe's. And 2 of them. So probably like $65.
And Joe's is expensive.
Yeah. So they probably invested $70 in this prank or in this like out of their mind, messed up. Like
they might have done it for the pod, bro. Who knows? If you guys seriously did this to Peter Moran, poor guy had to get up at 3:40. That's like right around the time I'm peeing. But if I got a pizza at that time, dude, I'd be pretty scared and annoyed like you.
It was really
That's
weird
bizarre.
experience.
All right, well, hopefully we get to the bottom of this. That is crazy. So, dude, I was mentioning I was at this party yesterday. My buddy is going to be a penis doctor. He just got into residency after medical school in Chicago, so he's moving to Chicago for 5 years. We're going to miss him. Crazy thing about medical school, bro, and becoming a doctor in general, you have to go to school. Well, no, think about undergrad. Well, I'm not just saying you have to go to school, but like undergrad, you do 4 years of college. You do a massive amount of medicine shit, I'm sure, while you're in college. And then you go to 4 years of medical school and then 5 years of residency. Yeah. And then you're finally a doctor. So we're talking like at least 12 or 13 years of specified doctor shit that you're focusing on before you're even a doctor.
Yeah.
So he's going to Chicago for 5 years. We're going to miss him. Squigs, I love you, buddy. We had a great time yesterday. A bunch of his friends thought it'd be funny. My friends too, but more so like his circle of kids who like he went to school with.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying.
They decided to be really funny to get him a penis cake because he's going to be a urologist. Now, funny idea, but like the penis
cake. So
he's
a urologist or a CockDoc?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Well,
a urologist is like a penis doctor.
But is it not a unisex position? Like
no. Urologist is penis.
Okay. I would just thought like urinary, like
Oh, well, yeah, it could have been a good thought. So they decided to get a penis cake, and the penis cake, bro, is so expensive. $450 for a penis cake. This is like a full wedding cake. And I was like, okay, like initially I had thought that a penis cake would be funny, and they were like, all right, well, do you mind throwing in like $45 for the cake? And I'm like, oh
that's
my
barely
God,
even covering the tip.
I guess. Yeah, literally the tip. So I was like, all right, whatever. I guess I'll pay $45. It was funny, and I'll show you a picture of the penis cake, and I'll put it on my story. Check it out on Ted Jones World. But I don't know, bro. Funny for a little bit, but
that's not even worth $45.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a
total
fancy ass cake, and probably ended up being between like 10 or 11 people.
And
so
you
like
didn't even taste it, right?
$500.
Because of your
because of my
diet,
vegan stuff.
Because you don't eat meat.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people really indulge in the penis cake. Like people were taking bites of the penis because it was funny, but like just in general, I feel like people don't really eat cakes at parties anymore.
Yeah, agreed. But if it were a decent cake, like,
well, would we have known? I wouldn't have known. Yeah, well, maybe it was a good cake.
And
it's going to take a long fucking time to eat that cake.
$450. Listen, this. You know what the theme of this podcast is?
What?
Overly expensive pranks.
Yes.
You're all
my God, you're right. 2 consecutive way too expensive pranks.
I mean, yeah, you're dropping $450 for like a. I'm gonna call it what it is, a hacky joke. $45 a piece for be like, get it, dick, because like that's what you studied.
I think that the idea came, and then this particular person went to this one bakery and wasn't getting like a bunch of proposals. You know, like when you get your apartment done or you want to get like a bathroom done in your apartment, you get 3 different people. Okay, one guy comes in at 5,000, one at 7,000, and the other at 30,000. You don't want to pick the guy who's putting together a $30,000 bathroom if you're just trying to get a simple job done. You know, like a penis cake could easily cost $150. Yeah. And then it would have been a lot funnier. You know, everybody gets in the mix for $15, $20. $45 is pushing it, especially when you didn't have I mean, you didn't even have the intention of spending this much money on, let alone a penis cake.
Yeah, and also like how much better could it be if you're spending that much money? It needs to have like every little detail, every
good.
bulging vein, every ball hair.
He had like a 6-pack. There was like a little bit of semen coming out of the wiener.
Oh,
a little bit.
Wait,
it was
there
pretty
was
detailed.
body involved.
It was like
six-pack?
It was like nipples down. Let's say nipples down to like the end of the wang. So like half, like a quarter of your thighs, you'd say, like right under. It was pretty detailed.
Were there any women at this party?
I would say, yeah, there were a few. I would say
just
that
felt like there weren't.
It could easily have been a $450 cake, but like this is a cake that you get for a bachelor party. That's the kind of cake.
Yeah, but even that, it's like, haha. That's why I'm saying hack it. Like, yeah, haha, $30, I'll get it. Yeah, like
$45. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, Peter, last week I want to touch on this. I was so sore, bro. Thanks to you, man. Nothing sexual here that I'm referring to, but you were talking a lot about leg day, man. And the next day, after the last pod, I went so hard on legs, dude. Look at those legs there. I could not walk, bro. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like I was, you know what it hurts when you sit on the toilet? Like it was exactly like that. I could barely move. And the thing about leg day, which like I feel like doesn't really happen when you do upper body, is like it really kind of puts you out for that day. Like you can't really work out that much when you have a really hard leg day. You know what I mean?
Can I quickly pause before responding to what you just said?
Sure.
The speed at which you transitioned into that.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah. What do you mean? Just dropping the penis story and going directly into leg
directly
day?
into that. Are you nervous right now?
I wanted to talk about leg day, man, because I was feeling it for no joke 48 hours.
Okay, so this was more of a burning.
A burning, yes, passion in my legs. So like I couldn't really move that well, and I just needed to let it out, bro. So
was it because I tried to subtly belittle you about your gym habits in that episode that got you going?
No, I don't think so. I didn't really get offended because you were like, well, aren't you trying to put on more weight each time you go to the gym?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I just want to kind of look good.
So what was different about this leg workout that caused you to have such a tough recovery?
I haven't specifically done legs for that long of a period of time while I'm at the gym. Like I will put in probably like maybe 20 to 25 minutes like almost every time that I go to the gym, but then this specific workout was like an hour of legs where I was just doing a ton of different ton of different movements, which I haven't done before. You know, like when you hit the calf raise machine, like sneakily one of the harder machines if you really do a lot of reps. And then my calf, like still 4 days later, is still like jiggly and hurts a little bit.
Those boys will get tight. Those will cramp up on you real quick.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's how
especially and then you go and get hungover.
Oh,
look at you.
Bro, and then that's the worst.
I'm surprised you didn't wake up with a throbbing calf in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've definitely had a few calf cramps in my life, and those are some of the worst.
Can I
get calves? Yeah.
I've had some roaring calf cramps in my day. Back in the creatine days, for sure. Stay dehydrated. Let me get.
What? Yeah,
a nice
please
sip of this
make
water.
sure get some of that tap water down. Make sure you don't cramp on air, brother. Were you about to ask me something before you got involved there? Go ahead.
I want to know how your personality changed last night when you got drunk.
It didn't. I just felt like shit. Actually, well, I have a vlog coming out tomorrow with this penis involved in the episode. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take it down because it was like a really graphic penis picture. But we'll see. Not much, man.
What was the focus of like what were your objectives for the night when you went out to that
yesterday?
Party? Yeah,
I haven't drinking in a while, and like I'll say that I only really drink on special occasions, maybe. So it's like once every 6 weeks, maybe once every 2 months I'll drink. But like I think like when I drink, I'm drinking. Like I'll have anywhere from 7 to 10 drinks, which is a lot. Like I don't like to go out and have 2 glasses of wine with dinner. I don't like to have 3 beers on a casual night. It's like if I'm gonna drink, like I feel like there's a point to drinking, like when I smoke weed, like I typically get high, and like if I smoke weed, that's my objective, right?
Yeah.
So when people drink, I don't understand when people are like, oh yeah, I like the taste or it's soothing, something like that. I don't really get those feelings. I drink to get drunk.
Yeah, I definitely get the drinking objective. Like you want to get to a certain level of buzz, and give or take a little bit. But
yes.
In terms of your overall objectives for the night, were you trying to get vlog content? Were you just like checking the box? I got to see these friends.
So initially, I was gonna get vlog content, and I was gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna break my fast with like a White Claw, but I was like, all right, I might pass out. And
so you
get really sick because like I went on a long run. I was like, I don't want to do that. I might get way too sick because I've had nights when I've drinking and then like the entire next day is shot. Like I've been. This hasn't happened in a while, but I remember specifically one time, probably like 8 or 9 months ago, where I went really super hard the night before. and the entire next day to like 4:30 p.m. I was throwing up.
Damn.
Like I couldn't even move anywhere from my bed to the toilet, like from just 4:30 p.m. So like I don't know if that, I mean, it constitutes sounding like I do have a problem with drinking, but like I don't know. You don't think so?
I mean, that's you went too hard that night for sure. Right, that's a bad recovery.
But that's what happens when I drink. That's my mindset. I'm gonna be like, okay, well, if I'm gonna drink, like I'm gonna definitely drink. Like that's gonna be my objective for the night.
So,
you know what I
mean? Did you black out last night?
No. No, like I walked home.
What?
Like 30th and Lexington area, and the whole time when I was walking home, bro, I was like, "Oh my god, I feel like I have to throw up." No, I felt like I had to throw up.
Yeah.
I came back here, had 2 bananas, fucking classic life of a vegan. That's one of the annoying things also about being a vegan. You come home like you want to have burgers and French fries, like I'm having fucking chickpeas and beans out of a can.
Plus, you have to keep talking about it too.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And then that's another thing. How do you think I feel about that?
Yeah. Well, you say a problem. Like I would be on the same page. It's like, all right, we're getting pretty lit. Like it's a party. We're drinking. We're getting pretty lit, and I'm trying to not throw up. That's where I'm trying to hit.
Yeah.
And so what? Were you just like missing the mark, and you went a little further than you thought you could have without getting to that point?
Yeah, I think like I had. Well, I didn't black out, which is good, but. I think the blackout more so, at least with me, happens if like I drink too much vodka or too much tequila. Like I haven't blacked out really from. I've only been really experimenting with White Claw for about a year now.
Experimenting with White Claw.
Well, I mean having like a lot. And so when did White Claw even come out?
Probably 2, 3.
Right. So like people started really drinking, I'd say within like the last maybe 18, 24 months, year and a half, 2 years, something like that. So like drinking White Claw in the past, I've never blacked out from it. So maybe it's like the type of alcohol. But I do tend to feel like shit the day after. But that's like with all alcohol. You know what I mean?
Poison.
Yeah. It's fucked up. Like I never feel that way when I smoke weed, but people do get weed hangovers. Do you get weed hangovers? Like where you just like feel super groggy the next day, your sweat smells like weed? That happens to me sometimes.
That sweat smells like weed.
Yes, that's happened. That happened to me like the other day.
Really?
Yeah, like Thursday morning I was in the gym and I just reeked of weed out of my armpits.
Really?
I was like, all right, boys.
What were you? How much did you smoke?
Down. I don't think it was a lot. I think it was just maybe like the fact that I had smoked maybe a little bit later, or it was the type of food that I ate, and like it stuck to the like weed. Yeah. Well, the weed stuck to the food, and then like as I was sweating, it just went out of my pores. As gross as that sounds, you know.
I don't know if the hangover you're describing is something I'm familiar with. Like I'm sure that I've had groggier mornings than I could have.
You're talking about a weed hangover?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure I've had like a little bit. Drier eyes, a little bit groggier morning, a little bit slower to come online. But you feel for the most part fine, right? But yeah, I'm chilling. Like that's worst case is that I'm like, my eyes are a little I'm struggling to open my eyes a little bit more this morning, which like I'm not a morning person. Every morning I wake up and it's like I want water and coffee before I feel like a human being again. So I don't know. I'm sorry that you had that experience.
With what? With what?
With your claws last night.
Well, yeah. So tending not to drink at least for, I don't know, till the next time there's a party or something. I don't know. But like
until someone asks me to.
Yeah. So people drinking 2 to 3 times a week, power to you. I don't think I can do that. That's like why, for the most part, I've just been switching to weed. It just makes me feel a lot better. And it feels like it's not like I have to smoke 4 joints to get to a point where I'm like satisfied. Like alcohol, I feel like I have to drink a certain amount to be like satisfied with how much I've drinking,
Yeah. Look, man, it's a trap.
Yeah.
That being said, Friday night trap. Still, first time out, like out in forever.
How was that?
Kind of terrible.
Why?
I mean, not terrible. Like I had a fine time, but objectively looking at it, like why would I want to do that? It was like go to a bar. Still, tables were seated separately, everything like that. It's not like a crowded dance floor like the days of yore, but they're still playing music like it is, like banging bass, like the loudest music you would ever get, like at a club where everyone's hammered and dancing, like back in the day. That's the kind of music that was being played. That's the noise I'm dealing with while sitting like 4 people at a table. Legit. People always talk about like screaming at a bar, having a conversation. No one likes it. It was that, but times 1,000. It was the kind where it's like no one ever plays that music at a bar unless you're all 18 years old and you're just like trying to dance on each other. Yeah, it was like that. And you know what? I'm good.
Well, was it that specific place? Because I don't know. I feel like there are definitely a few. Where was it? Lower East Side?
Close.
There are like a lot of places down there that do that, and it seems that like the people who just got out of college still enjoy that kind of vibe.
It wasn't even a young crowd
though,
like relatively. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, you can definitely find a quieter vibe, and that's more my thing. But like, you know what? Just being reinserted, not fully in that environment, but at a bar with that level of noise, I'm like, I'm good.
How was the mask situation there? If you don't mind me masking.
Ah, man, I hate that.
Yeah, how was it?
I mean, it was fine. You wear it to get in, get your temperature taken, go sit
down. You don't have to wear it.
Pop it off. If I went to the bathroom, I would throw it on. People are getting more laissez-faire about it for sure.
Definitely.
The vaxes are going up. That being said, when you look at the numbers of who's vaccinated in New York, and then you look around like who's kind of chilled out on the mask thing, like they definitely don't add up. It's people that are just like, all right, well, we don't really.
Well, what do you mean?
Like, there's looser regulation or guidance from the CDC now for people who are vaccinated, but people who aren't are just like, yeah, whatever. Like, I guess that's about it.
You don't really know who's vaccinated or not.
You don't know.
And if you see people not wearing the mask, you just assume they're vaccinated.
But that's the thing.
Like, that's the assumption these days.
But that's the thing. It's probably more the opposite. It's like the people that were like, I'm going to take this seriously.
Anti-maskers?
Yeah, because if you're anti-mask, you're probably anti-vax and vice versa.
Yes, definitely.
So like, yeah, of course you're going to
who knows
pop
these
it off.
days, right.
Yeah, so I mean, that being said though, like, and as long as you got that prick in your arm, you're probably fine dealing with whoever gets thrown your way,
Yeah, I'm seeing slowly more places are offering the mask as kind of optional, like Trader Joe's saying they're not requiring one, Walmart not requiring one, other big chain stores are still in some places requiring it, but I'd be interested to see like which restaurants I guess move forward first, or it has to be like Cuomo or de Blasio being like, okay, well, only restaurants that have like restaurants are able to have their optional mask kind of vibe, you know what I mean? So like we'll see when it actually becomes okay, you can have your mask on or you don't. Like either way, just like don't bother people if they have it on, don't bother people if they have it off. And that'll be a beautiful time when that happens, bro.
Yeah, we're sprinting pretty quickly.
Yeah, we're definitely.
We're moving fast towards whatever it's going to be.
It's crazy to think like you and I, if we were having this conversation a year ago, I don't know, man. I don't know how quickly we would have thought that like we'd be at a point like this. Like even when was this, bro? Like probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, you were telling me how you were hanging out with somebody who caught COVID, and you were like, dude, I don't know if you feel comfortable about it. And I'm like, bro, I got the vaccine. Like, don't worry about it. And like, you had completely forgotten that I got the vax just because like it's happened at such a rapid speed.
Oh yeah,
that it's questionable.
It is.
It's questionable.
It totally is. I mean, I guess it's not perfect, but I feel good doing whatever I want to do at this point, pretty much within reason.
Yeah.
But am I going to say no to something anymore? On that basis, probably not.
Understood. So Peter, I want to get to this last topic before we get to this listener email, and I've been set up a number of times. I don't know if it's through the podcast, or I think a couple of them are through the podcast, and then a few are through.
You're set up multiple times
friends.
through the podcast.
Yeah, or attempted to have been set up with a blind date through the podcast.
Really,
twice by my grandma, and about 4 times from my friends. So I'm
so
fine.
Why do you
I do not need to go on a blind date. Everyone listening and watching, please. I'm very happy being just with Peter, and I'm off the dating apps, and I don't need to be going on any dates right now, man. I just don't want to, bro. I just want to hang.
Why do you
Why do I say what?
Why do you say you've been set up through the podcast then?
Because I think that people are listening and hearing that I'm not on dating apps. I'm looking for someone potentially, but I'm not. And I don't like blind dates, bro. And if you say like you have like you want to set somebody up with me, that's fine. But like let's announce it first with a picture. Hey, I want to set you up with this girl. Boom, picture.
So you're getting set up fully blind. I want to set you up with
this person. Okay, now what's their last name? Then I have to go and I have to search Instagram, or I have to look at Facebook, see if this person like I find attractive or not. Yeah, so I'm being set up on a blind date or whatever.
So someone says, I want to set you up with my friend. Let's call her Maria, right?
Sure.
And that's all you know.
Maria, yeah.
That's all you know.
Yes. I'm 85% not going on that
So
date.
you show up at the place.
I'm not, 15% of the time, maybe, sure.
Okay. Be honest. Ever? Have you actually done this?
Have I gone on the blind date that somebody set me up on? No.
Okay. So by 15%, you mean zero.
There's still opportunity for the 15% to happen, meaning. But I still love you, Grandma.
But
I still love everyone else trying to set me up.
You're not bailing on it, like ghosting and standing them up, right? You're just saying, I'm not interested in seeing person with a first name and no other detail?
I won't respond to probably the person who's trying to set me up with that person being like, oh yeah, she's really like this. And then I'm like, okay, well, I just went to the page and I'm not a fan. Like, what am I going to say? Not my type. I'm not really going on dates right now.
Okay.
Which is both of the case, actually. But like, can you say that?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can.
Why? Wait.
Yeah.
Why would you not be able to say that?
What?
Do you not have agency over your own life?
I'm not going on dates right now. Who says that? Is that a real thing to say?
Someone who's not going on dates. Is that what you actually mean?
I've been self-conscious about saying that, so I'll say that more so. Thank you.
Yeah. You know what? You're getting to know yourself.
Exactly. I really am, Peter. Thank you. I am.
If you get to know yourself,
was tough.
If you get to know yourself too well, you're going to want to go on dates and stay distracted.
Exactly. Well, I've been loving the 2 ring lights here, the camera, the soundboard, and everything that we've got going on here, Peter. Yeah. So I want to touch on something quickly, but like I don't want to get too too deeply involved with it, because like this is a very special situation that we will have, and I told you about this. I'm not sure if I told you about this last week or like a couple of days ago, but a guy who I ran into on the street. And should we discuss this really quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I asked you if you have seen on Netflix, I'm not sure if you guys listening or watching have seen it, Varsity Blues. This was like the cheating scandal when Aunt Becky from Full House, her daughter, was like plagiarizing like rowing photos. She wasn't actually on the rowing team, and she got into USC saying that she was an all-American rower, which is like obviously false. So I ran into this kid on the street who played at Georgetown tennis the same time that I played tennis at UConn. Like we grew up playing juniors together since we were probably 13 or 14 years old, and he's working at a tennis club in the city. So we were talking for a couple minutes, and he was saying how he had an issue with the coach on the Georgetown tennis team, and then we got into talking, whatever. I was like, bro, you got to come on the podcast. We will make it anonymous. And he was like, no, dude, I want to come on the podcast. I don't want to be anonymous. Ooh. And I have got juice and I've got tea to spill. So, not Thursday, but then potentially the next Monday or the next Thursday, we'll have him on. And I'm super excited, Peter. So get those questions ready, bro.
Let me ask you this before, because, we can do a little bit of a preview here. He says he was caught up in the scandal. He was not guilty of anything?
No, he didn't say he was caught up in the scandal. I kind of said that he was caught up in the scandal because he was. He was. Well, he was. He
so yes.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't like I was caught up in the scandal. I myself am saying that he was involved in the scandal. He wouldn't potentially say that he is.
Well,
but I think that he was.
So
not in a negative way, of course.
What do you mean not in a negative way? Is there a positive way?
Yeah, because he was on the tennis team innocently, and he was a great tennis player and a good student. He got into Georgetown on his own merit for sure. I know that.
Okay, so yeah,
he wasn't a rich kid that got in through the tennis coach.
I didn't know Georgetown had people that weren't rich.
Well, yeah, sure.
So
the tennis coach basically was involved in the Varsity Blues scandal and is facing 20 years in prison. Let's keep it at that.
Hey, man, if some of our old coaches went to jail for 20 years, some of us would be happy about that.
Oh, yeah? You?
I mean, I kid.
Right.
I don't kid.
A lightly kid.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear what it is, and I want to find out that like he's
gonna spill the tea, bro.
Wasn't
gonna be great.
You know what would be crazy?
What?
You know what would really be crazy? If your opinion of him was that he is a very talented tennis player, but your opinion was wrong because you were actually playing tennis at UConn because your parents had forged some information and they had gotten you and it wasn't on your own merit, but you'd been so sheltered that you truly thought it was on your own merit. So you had this juiced up version of your own talent. So comparing him to you was also skewed.
What the fuck is this? Well, I think that this kid being being a starter in the lineup on the Georgetown tennis team and him being like top 20 in the East or top 25 in the East his whole career, I deem him to be a good tennis player.
He sounds like he can swing the racket.
Yeah, but I'm excited. We'll have a number of questions for him. And if you guys haven't seen the Netflix documentary, watch it on Varsity Blues. It's on Netflix. And the coach that was mainly involved in this scheme at Georgetown, his name is Gordy Ernst, who is actually
did
this
Gordy
guy's
appear in that?
Tennis coach. Yeah.
Did he? Because I don't fully remember.
Yeah, the tennis coach at Georgetown, Gordy Ernst. And it was funny, like one time I went to a tournament in New Jersey, and this lady who like has a good relationship with Gordy, she was talking to me. She was like, oh, you got to meet the tennis coach at Georgetown. Mm-hmm. He's super nice, and he loves kids from New York, this and that.
Oh, I bet he does.
And then it sounded super sketchy now looking back on it 10 years later, man.
Yeah, I bet he loves those New York kids.
Yeah, exactly. And also Alex Friedlich, who's, spoiler alert, that's his name, Alexander Friedlich. He's going to be coming on the podcast. But he was saying that there was a running joke on the tennis team that Gordy always loved the kids on the tennis team when their parents like came in and took them out to dinner to like really nice restaurants like Michelin star and such, 5-star.
Money is the motive, always.
Nice, man. All right, Peter, let's get to this listener email, but I'm like super excited for that guest. Alex Friedrich, we'll find out a good time to bring him on. But that was a lovely street running. And I'm sure you've had your good fair share of street run-ins before, right?
All the time. You
Yeah?
can't avoid them in New York.
All right, right. Absolutely. I'm also a good like stop and go person. If I see you on the street, we'll do a stop and chat for 30 seconds max.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh,
I
got to keep going.
Based on the speed in which you've been transitioning topics today, like I can understand.
You could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You,
bro.
it's like a bump in.
I want to get everything in. So everybody really gets the full tea.
Yeah. All right, let's get this email. This is first date etiquette from Levi, 26. Hey guys, love the pod. Let's do my question. If I ask someone out, I pay for the date. Then is it on them to text me thanks or that they had a good time afterwards, or should I do the follow-up text as well? Sincerely, still waiting.
What a good freaking question. I've never even thought about this, and I think it's got to be the person who just got taken out has to reach out and say thank you. But it's crazy because I've never really thought of that. I mean, have you thought of that? Like, you just spent $100 on a date, and you're like, okay, should I text this person? Should I wait for the text back? And I myself, I feel like would not even think about that. Like, I would text the person like right away, or not right away. I wouldn't expect a text from them saying thank you.
I would wait for the text. I don't think I'm getting the text unless they had a good time. The only possible issue with that is that, like, say I take someone out and I pay for it, and the polite thing would be, thanks for taking me out, whatever.
You mean whoever you took out?
Right. There's a chance she's not interested, but she knows that's still the polite thing to do, but saying it would make her sound interested, and basically like she's asking for a second date. So that's where, like,
it's a weird kind of line.
But I would like, if I take someone out and they didn't say thanks or I had a great time or whatever afterwards, I would probably just take that as like, you didn't love the vibe. You didn't have a great time.
Well, granted, no matter what, after the date, if somebody paid for your dinner, you should say thank you.
Right. You're going to get the thank you in person.
Yes.
So
that is a must.
So the follow-up text.
That might imply that you're interested.
The follow-up text. Yeah. I think the follow-up text is a way of the person who was asked out to say, like, good time, ask me out again.
Yeah. You know what? I think I've had one of the last dates that I've been on, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah, because you don't do that.
Yeah, it was like mutual. Wasn't really a great time. Whatever. She said thank you. I paid for it, and it was like, oh yeah, we should do this again sometime.
Yeah.
No text were exchanged between the two.
Anything saying in that moment means nothing. This was great. I had so much fun. Let's do it again. We should see each other soon. All that's the same as saying, like, how are you doing? I'm good. It's just what you say.
Well, yeah, we should see each other soon is maybe
it's a lot, but like
much.
If there's like an awkward moment, you're waiting for the Uber, whatever, like anything like that, just like I wouldn't take any of that seriously. But if you had time, you came back home or you waited till the next day or whatever, and then you're like, I'm going to text this person, I'm going to say something nice about it, then yeah, that's interest. And if they don't send that, again, like there's nothing wrong with you following up, and if you had taken them out and following up, obviously not to say thank you, but like I had so much fun, like it was great meeting you, whatever. You can do that for sure. But I think anyone who was just taken out knows that if they want to express interest, they hit them with a like, thanks, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I've never really thought about this, and thank you, Levi, for bringing this up. So guys who take out girls, I guess, for dinner and pay for it, maybe you have to wait, I guess, for the follow-up thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say male, female, even in that scenario. I would just say, if you ask the person out, you pay. If you were paid for, you want to follow up with a thank you to express interest. If you want to express interest, follow up with a thank you. I had a great time, whatever. And if you don't, that's like, all right, we did what we did. I'm over it.
No, chasing is overrated. Chasing doesn't need to be happening so much on the guy's side. While the guy potentially does have to show initially, I guess, the lion's share of the interest, I think that this is like a good point that Levi brought here. He should wait for that text if he, wants to keep things even, maybe.
Yeah. No point in doing all the work.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Peter Moran, thank you very much as always. And guys, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. Peter, you got anything else to say?
Let's get out of here.
Before we get out of here? All right.
Thanks for tuning into the Ted Jones World Podcast with
Peter Moran.
Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe.
We've got new episodes dropping every Monday, Thursday at 12 a.m.
Follow us on TikTok, Ted Jones World Podcast. Follow us on Twitter, TJW Podcast. Hell yeah.